Hello, we're going to present Colsubsidio's digital marketing strategy from our point of view. We are Juan David, Dana, Isabela, and Laura. So, first of all, what is Colsubsidio? To understand Colsubsidio, we need to have in mind that it is a non-profit organization that basically manages resources in order to provide social services and make life better for workers and their families as well. Main services they have in the health industry, education, recreation and tourism, housing, and subsidize. Mm, Colsubsidio's mission it's basically to reduce the gap in social inequalities here in Colombia and by creating, of course, opportunities for people to have a better quality of life. That's their mission. And the impact in numbers more than 1.4 million affiliated workers to Colsubsidio, nearly 100,000 affiliated companies that we're going to talk a little bit of how this works or how the companies are integrated in this whole process, and 18,000 direct employees. So, how is Colsubsidio able to do all of this? Basically, the companies that are affiliated with Colsubsidio contribute 4% of the employees' payroll. And this is how they get the money in order to provide the different services that they do. And they fund to various social services, basically. Some highlights about Colsubsidio, some of the things that caught our attention. um, I will start with the current news. Is that a last year, at the end of last year, Colsubsidio announced the closure of its supermarkets because they analyzed carefully and they realized it was best to close. All they reassigned the workers to different areas of Colsubsidios, so they were able to keep their jobs. That's one thing, and the other is the recent recognition that Colsubsidio received in 2024, also last year, in the categories of sustainable purchasing and environmental leadership in the health sector. This was awarded or given by the global network of green and healthy hospitals. You can check the if you wish, you can check the reference in the references section.
So now talking about the types of housing subsidies that Colsubsidio offers currently, they are mainly divided into two propositions that are renting and homeownership. So mainly renting now consists of a rental subsidy that provides economic assistance to cover up to 90% of the monthly rental fee, and this subsidy has a top of zero point 0.6 the current legal minimum wages, which is the equivalent of 854,000 for this year for 2025, and this subsidy is available for a maximum period of 24 months. So it applies for both new and used urban properties that must be located in Bogota or Cundinamarca. Additionally, they have this purchase option at the end of the lease contract only if it has been agreed upon and the property qualifies as a social interest housing. For the second part, that is homeownership, we have that this is a subsidy designed to assist individuals into acquiring new homes to become homeowners, but they must be social interest housing. This subsidy consists of an economic input or contribution up to 30 legal monthly minimum wages, which amounts for this year for 2025 to 42,075,000 pesos, and this financial support is intended to help cover the initial payment of this house. The maximum value of this social interest housing is eligible for up to 150,000 legal monthly minimum wages, and it is only in the municipalities of Bogota, Tabio, Cajica, Chía, and Cota. In other municipalities, the maximum value is set approximately to 135 legal monthly minimum wages, and it is very important that to acknowledge that there's this subsidy of home ownership is non-refundable, and it aims mainly to facilitate the purchase of a home for individuals and families. So now this infographic here is mainly designed to break down and summarize the information that I already said, to make some points very clear, because it is important to know how to access and how these subsidies are working, but also to make clear the point of eligibility requirements. So to access these subsidies, applicants must meet like certain requirements, including not being affiliated with Colsubsidio, not being a homeowner at the national level, and not have been a beneficiary of housing subsidies in the past, either with Colsubsidio or any other agency or subsidiary. And the income of the family must not exceed specific limits that are established in the legal monthly minimum wages. So it is crucial for potential applicants to consult these specific requirements and the application process for each subsidy on Colsubsidio's website, so they have uh, to ensure their chances of receiving this type of assistance that is offered by Colsubsidio. Listo.
Once we know that the Colsubsidio has this kind of subsidies, the question is how people can access to them, how can they apply to them. The first subsidy that we're talking about is for renting processes. So the first that people have to do is to check if they are eligible for this kind of subsidies. Then they fulfill all the formats and also bring all the needed documents. And finally, in a term of 6 months, the person has an pre-approved amount. So if more documents are needed, they have to bring them. But also in this term, they can receive the money in their account in the bank. So the idea is this: with three simple steps, people can access to this subsidy that will be an economical help. But if I want to apply for a housing subsidy, well, it's the same process. The unique thing that changes is that you must apply through the official transactional website, then either via in person or via online, you have to complete all and upload all the documents that will be requested. And at the end, just validate that your information is correct, everything is okay, and people from Colsubsidio will be calling you or contact you as soon as possible. So it's that easy.
Nowadays, it's not enough to be on the internet. You have to strategically connect with the users. I'm Dana Sofia Ferrer Lopez, and I'm talking about call subsidies and how that is through an omni-channel strategy, integrating different platforms to offer a full digital experience. And it's not just about having social networks, but making each channel interact with the others. From the web to WhatsApp, each point of contact is designed so that information flows without friction. But the most important thing is not just the number of channels, but how they generate interactive with the users. For example, in WhatsApp, find a virtual assistant that responds in real time. On Instagram and Facebook, we see dynamic content that allows us to react in comments and share. And one of the web, we find everything centralized to access key services. In addition, Colsubsidio is committed to personalization. Not all users are looking for the same thing, which is why the app and email marketing segment information to send offers and benefits like according to each profile. But also, as you can see in the presentation, they had a lot of digital comms channels, and there are like five clue words that are so important in this type of search. And at the same time, all this translates into a very digital experience, agile, accessible, and adapt to the needs of the user. But the most like important thing is engagement, because they don't just like inform. They generate as real important things in engagement, because they generate a real connection with customers through testimonial videos and interactive dynamics. And if we go to their experience, we don't just see ads, we see stories from satisfied users, videos, and community. It's not about being everywhere, but about being in the right place with the right message. And Colsubsidio optimates process with WhatsApp, personalizes the experience with email marketing, and generates attractive visual content on social media to connect with people. All of this part is omnichannel strategy, where the web, the app, and the social media work together for a flight experience. And the result, like as we see in the presentation, there are more interaction, more loyalty, and more satisfied users. Colsubsidio implements digital strategies focused on offering valuable content and fostering like a commitment, community, and at the same time there are five keywords that we see like in these slides: automatization, segmentation, visual content, interaction and networks, and omnichannel. They are so important about the strategies. And at the same time, it's so important to know that through its website and mobile app, they provide tutorials and guides that facilitate navigation and optimal use of the site. On platforms such as Facebook, they organize webinars and live events such as the ABC of digital marketing for business owners and entrepreneurs, providing expert advice for the professional like world on the affiliates. In addition, they keep their audience informed through the reliable news and updates, ensuring that users are aware of the latest news and benefits available. Promotion and special offers are spread like in social media and through email marketing, encouraging participation and taking advantage to the service like offered. User testimonies reflecting the quality and warmth of the service highlight phrases such as like the service is excellent, the staff is very friendly and always willing to help, and the food was all very good, all the experience like everywhere was full and satisfied. And this strategy demonstrates Colsubsidio's commitment to excellence and customer satisfaction, constantly adapting to the needs of its community and its impact like in your experience. Colsubsidio's next marketing is growing in 4 stages: attract, convert, close, and excited. So we searching the information about Colsubsidios and other funds about it, and we set to OpenAI to do the diagram based on that. So it was so cool because artificial intelligence helped to us like to do the diagram, and firstly like we attract the interest and attention of potential branches through educational content like about subsidies, social media, and CEO strategies like to establish as a link to the wall. After that, we switch to conversion, in which we look for people interested in leaving our data through the forms, target pages, and use WhatsApp back to facilitate the conditions for them to communicate. And the third phase is close to us to help us make the final decisions to participate or use our services through marketing. Finally, we come to excitement, in which we try to provide branches with research with satisfaction, creating positive communities and introduction programs. Colsubsidio is currently, like as we saw like in the search, strongest in transformation and closing, but has a great opportunity to improve in attract and more like positive and relevant to close, switch and conversation and loyalty.